Hey, so we are going to do 5.2, rewrite percent expressions. So the first thing I want to tell you is that you don't have these note takers. So what you're going to have to do is actually copy all of this down. Okay, so I apologize. Unfortunately, we didn't catch that you guys didn't have these note takers until it was too late. So what you're going to do is just go find the next 2 blank pages. Oh, it'll be after 5.3 part 2. And you're just going to have to copy it down, title, ICANN, key terms, and the examples, okay? So just take your time, pause when you need to. Thankfully, this is the only thing you need to do today, so it shouldn't take you too long. So we're doing I can rewrite or I can write expressions to help solve markup and markdown problems, okay? So a markup is when there's a percent increase, right? So when you mark up something, you're increasing it by a certain percentage. And then there's a markdown is where we have our percent decreases. So that was from lesson 5.1. These are just more common terms. You don't normally go to the store and say, oh, hey, there was a percent increase. No, you would say it was marked down or there was a discount. And so that's why we are going to use the words mark up and mark down today. So pause, make sure you get the title, the ICANN, and the key terms. All of it will be checked for. So for the guided notes, this is your example. Please write it down. Pause, take time to write it down. I know it's a lot, but I apologize. So it says to make a profit, stores mark up the prices on the items they sell. Right, that was talked about in 5.1. A sports store buys skateboards from a supplier for S dollars. So we don't know how much they are, S being whatever price they pay. What is the retail price for skateboards as the manager buys if they cost $35 or $56 after a 42% markup? Okay, so before we even do the 35 and the 56, we're going to write expressions to help us find these, okay? So remember yesterday, markups are percent increases. And if you think about our notes, when we increased, we added, right? So a markup will have to do with increase, which will then be addition. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the price of the skateboards. So for us, it's just S dollars. And we're going to add the markup. Well, the markup is 42% of the price. So we did that yesterday too. Remember yesterday when we had a percentage and a price, we multiplied. So this markup is really the percentage times the price. Remember that doing that yesterday? That was our independent practice as well. So we're going to do S, the price, plus our percentage. But remember, to do math, we have to move the decimal over twice. So we're going to get 4 and 42 hundredths, right? 1, 2, and then times, oops, S. And if you think about it, that's the math we did yesterday. We multiplied a percentage by the price, and then we took that answer and we added it to the original price. That's exactly what we did yesterday, okay? The difference is now it doesn't matter what the price is. We can figure it out. That's what this expression's for. So let's use this one. Actually, let's do this. In the beginning, it said expressions. We need more than one. So this is one version. This is what we did yesterday. Now there's actually another version, and it's just a different version of this. So this is a percentage of our total price. Now, this is our total price. A total equals 100%, right? So if we alter this, this is going to be expression 1, right? This is number 1. We're going to make up number 2 here. This first one is really 100% of S plus our 42, our percentage times S. Well, just like we changed the 42 to a decimal, we would need to change the 100% to a decimal. So we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to go 1S plus, I'm going to put my 42 hundredths here. Well, now if you look at it, I've got 1S or 1 skateboard plus 42 hundredths skateboard. Now, if we ignore the S's, we would just have 1 plus 42 hundredths. Well, if we add these together, we get 1 and 42 hundredths. And then what we do is just put the S back. These two expressions are actually equal. Okay, so these are the two expressions you can use. One is, that's an equal sign by the way, one is like what we did yesterday, 2 steps, we multiplied and then added. Or you can add first, add the percentages together, and then multiply. We're going to actually get exactly the same answer. Okay, so I'm going to do this in a different color. And I'm actually only going to use 35. Okay, so we're not going to worry about the 56. So I'm going to use example 1 or expression 1, and then I'm going to use expression 2, and I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter which one we do. Okay, so I'm going to take 35 and I'm going to times it by my 42 hundredths because this is my S. Okay, it's the price. So we get 10, I get 6, 7, 20, 12, 13, 14, 0, 7, 4, 1. I've got 2, so I go 1, 2. Okay, so that's just the multiplying we did yesterday. So then remember, just like yesterday, we're going to take this and add it back to 35. We did this together as well. So we're going to go plus 35 plus 1470. So 0, 7, 9, 4. And so there it is. That's the price they're going to sell it to us. Okay, so that's expression number 1. Now, I want to show you that it doesn't matter if I use the other expression, it's actually going to come out the exact same answer. So instead of doing 42 hundredths, I'm going to actually take 1 and 42 hundredths and times it by 35. Okay, remember we're using 35. So 1 and 42 hundredths times 35. So 10, 21, 5, 6, 7. 6, 12, remember this is from last time, 3, 4. So 0, 7, 9, 4, 1, 2. And look at that. I got the exact same price. So it shows you it doesn't matter which expression you use. It's all about which one makes more sense to you and which one seems easier to you. The first one is what we did yesterday. The second one is just a different version of it. Okay, and you're going to get to decide which one you want to use and which one makes more sense to you. Okay. So our additional practice problem, and this is kind of where we normally go onto our second page, but I'm going to let you decide, but right, this is normally our second page of our notes. An additional practice. So a discount store marks down all of its holiday merchandise by 20% off the regular selling price. Find the discounted price of decorations that regularly sell for $16 and $23. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about the fact that this is a markdown. So yesterday, markdown equal the decrease. Decrease which if we remember, we subtracted with a decrease. Remember, that was the second part of our independent practice. We subtracted. So for expression number 1, right, we're going to take the price. Maybe we'll just put P this time for price. We're going to subtract the markdown. Now, remember, that's going to be the percent, still, oops, I'm not sure why I just tried to make a snowman. Percentage times the price. Okay, and we did that yesterday too. Remember, we multiplied first and then we subtracted. So the expression for this example would be P equals, oh, not equals, error there, minus, remember 20%, 1, 2 gets me 2/10 times the price. And that's what we did yesterday in our independent practice. We multiplied and then we subtracted. Okay, so that's expression number 1. Now for expression number 2, it's the same idea, but remember this is going to represent 100% of the price minus the percentage times the price. So we're going to go 1p minus 2/10 p. All right, that was our percentage, 2/10. So it's just like if we took 1 take away 2/10. So think about it, if you have $1 and spend 20 cents, we would have 80 cents, and then we'll stick the p back on. These two expressions are equal. Right? They're equal. They're the same thing. Okay. So we're going to use a second number this time. We're going to use 23. Okay. So I want you to pause and I want you to try using these expressions on your own first and see if they come out the same. Okay. So I want you to pause, plug in your price, and see if you can get these two expressions to come out the same. Remember, this is my expression and this is my expression. Okay, so for the first one, I'm going to multiply first. I'm going to do 23 times 2/10. So 6 and 4, and move it over one time. And then I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to take 23 and I'm going to subtract 4 and 6/10. Hopefully you remembered to borrow from yesterday. Yesterday we had some borrowing issues. So 4, borrow, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Bring down the 1, bring down your decimal. It's going to cost $18.40. So if we use expression 2, all I'm going to do this time is actually just multiply. I'm going to take 23 and times it by 8/10. So 24, 16, 17, 18. Move it over once. And look at that. $18.40. They are equal. Okay, so things to remember. Percentage has to equal the decimal to do math. Okay, that's add, subtract, multiply, divide. I think that's the biggest thing. Remember, we're going to have two expressions. That are equal. Okay, So your independent practice is just one problem. Rick buys a remote control car for $28 to resell. He's going to mark up the price by 10%. So the first thing you're going to do is write your two expressions just like we did. And then you're going to find the markup price he's going to resell it. Okay, so we'll go over this when we get back to class. If you need to rewind, pause more, do what you need to do. Until next time.